So what if I told you that the real key to winning that huge government contract, it isn't your amazing tech, and it's not even your incredible price? What if it all comes down to this one single section of the proposal that, honestly, most people just skim over? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that one critical detail. And trust me, getting this right can completely change the game.
And look, this isn't just some theory. That's a direct quote from a federal contracting officer, the actual person making the decision. They are telling us straight up that brilliant proposals from really good companies are getting tossed in the trash before anyone even reads them. And why? A simple compliance mistake.
And this isn't happening once in a while. This number, 47%, that's how many proposals get rejected just for compliance issues. That's almost half. Think about that. Nearly half of all the bids submitted are thrown out before anyone even looks at how good the idea is. The amount of wasted work is just staggering.
So, what is the culprit here? Well, we know it's not the big idea or the bottom line. It all comes down to a part of the RFP called Section L. It stands for Instructions, Conditions, and Notices to Offerors. You can just think of it as the government's official rulebook, and here's the kicker. It is absolutely non-negotiable.
To really get why this one section is such a big deal, you have to understand the government's evaluation process. It's not just one big review. Nope, it's a series of gates. And that very first gate, well, that's where almost half of everyone gets stopped dead in their tracks.
Here's exactly how it works. Before any technical expert gets to see your genius solution, a contract specialist does a very simple, very black and white check. They are not looking at quality, they just have a checklist, and that checklist is built entirely from Section L. Did you follow the rules? Yes or no? If the answer is no, you're out. It's that quick and, yeah, it's that brutal.
So what are these huge proposal-killing mistakes? You'd be surprised. We're not talking about some complex technical miscalculation. We're talking about being 2 pages over the limit, using the wrong font size, forgetting to attach a file. Seriously, these tiny little administrative slip-ups can completely wipe out months of hard work in a single moment.
And this is really the core of it. That first check has nothing to do with how good your proposal is. The person reviewing it isn't asking, is this a good idea? They're only asking one thing. Did they follow the directions? It is a strict pass or fail test, period.
Okay, so if you want to win, you have to know how to decode the RFP the right way. And that means you have to understand the huge difference between the two most important sections you're going to be dealing with.
Just think of it like this. Section L is the rulebook. It tells you exactly how to build your proposal, the format, page limits, structure, all of it. It tells you how to stay in the game. Section M, that's the scorecard. It tells you how you're going to be judged, on your technical approach, your price, all the good stuff. That's how you win the game.
But here is the single most important takeaway. If you don't master the rulebook in Section L, your score on the Section M scorecard means absolutely nothing. You could have the greatest proposal ever written, but if you break the rules, nobody will ever even get to score it.
All right, so we've laid out the problem, and it seems pretty intense, right? A high-stakes, unforgiving process. But here's the good news. There is a simple, and I mean really simple, but incredibly powerful tool that all the successful bidders use to get through this. It's your secret weapon.
It's called a compliance matrix. And honestly, you should just think of it as a GPS for your proposal. It's usually just a spreadsheet, and what it does is it breaks down the entire RFP. You take every single instruction, every you must do this, you shall provide that, and you map it to the exact page and section in your proposal where you did it. And here's what one looks like. See how simple that is? You've got the reference from the RFP, a quick summary of what they want, exactly where to find it in your proposal, and a status tracker. This little thing makes sure you don't miss anything, and it makes it super easy for the government evaluator to see that you've done your homework.
So here's the bottom line. Making this matrix might take you, what, an hour? Maybe 2? But that tiny investment of time is basically an insurance policy that protects the hundreds, maybe thousands of hours your team puts into the actual proposal.
Let's just zoom out for a second, though. It's really easy to look at all these sectional rules and think it's just a bunch of annoying red tape. But for the government, it's actually much more than that. It's really the first test of who you are as a company. I mean, really try to put yourself in their shoes. Their thinking is pretty straightforward. If a company can't even follow simple instructions on how to submit a document, how on earth can we trust them with the really complex requirements of a multi-million-dollar contract? It's a test of attention to detail right from the start. So at the end of the day, following the rules in Section L isn't just about getting past some gatekeeper.
It is your very first chance to prove that you are reliable, that you pay attention to detail, and that you're a partner they can trust. It sends a powerful message without you having to say a single word. So, the question I want to leave you with is this. Is your next proposal just about explaining a cool idea, or is it actually engineered to win? Because in the world of government contracts, you've got to realize that the details, they aren't just important, they're everything.